Hello, Jack. Thanks for coming in today. Uh, I've introduced myself, and we've just signed the consent form and talked about confidentiality. And I've let you know that I've got a little bit of background on you, but I'd really like to hear more about your story from you if you're happy to speak to me about that. So, just to start, would you like to tell me what a typical week would look like for you? As in, how much are you drinking? How often?
Yeah. Um, my name's Jack. I am a forklift driver, and I'm 35, and I uh, drink 8 to 10 stubbies a week of full strength beer. Um, but lately, I've been finding that I'm buying a bottle of spirits once a week, and polishing that off in the first few days on top of my beer. And yeah, I play pool. Yep.
Okay. And so, have you worked out or do you know about standard drinks? As in, that's just a way of measuring how much you're actually consuming?
Yeah, I know from the labels on the side of the beer and the spirits. Um, so yeah, I have a fair idea how much I'm consuming.
All right, so you do have some idea about how much you're consuming, and especially now that you're adding on the spirits, um, what do you think that's about?
Well, I think my alcohol intake is getting heavier, and I've started to realise that it's affecting my life.
Mm-hmm. So, just in a rough calculation that we can do, I thought it might be good for us to work out how many standard drinks you're drinking. So, do you know how much a bottle of spirits is in standard drinks?
Yeah, roughly 30 standard drinks.
Oh,
And
okay. So, 700 ml bottle of spirits is about there's about 20 drinks in that.
okay.
So thinking back to when you first started drinking, what was your history like? When did you start drinking? What age? What were you doing?
My late teens, and I just used to do it for fun with my friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was sort of a social thing with your friends. You had things in common with them. Um, and what did you enjoy about those times?
The just the social side of it. Yeah, enjoying time with my friends and us having a good time.
Well, that's normal for teenagers, and teenagers do like to experiment and come together and try new things together. So there's nothing unusual about that. Did you ever notice that you started to increase your drinking? Was there things that happened, or was there a time when you can remember that's when I started drinking more?
Yeah, I think I started to up my drinking when I split up with my partner.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, these things happen in life, don't they? And it must be hard because you've got a couple of kids as well.
Yep.
So, um, did your partner ever say to you that she didn't like the way you were drinking? She didn't like something about your drinking that she wanted to speak to you about? how did that go?
Yeah, it was a problem. It, I started not doing things that I would normally do with her and the kids, and yeah, it's a big reason why we're not together anymore.
Alright. Well, it sounds like there's been a few concerns that you've identified for yourself. What do you think are the things that you've lost or disappoint you, or you'd like have found hard that have been in relation to your drinking?
Well, I've always enjoyed playing pool, and I play a little bit of competition pool with friends, and we we're in the group B, but since my alcohol intake has went up, I've found that my pool playing has went down a level, and even my friends that are heavy drinkers, have even pulled me up for the way I've been lately. And yeah, we're even potentially going to slip down a level in the pool comp.
So you've mentioned that the negative changes that have happened. One of them has been your pool competitions and your ability to get good results. So that's a change for you that is not working out well, and potentially that's a good motivator that you'd like to get back to playing good pool.
Yes, definitely. That's one reason. There's others, but yeah.
Alright, you just touched on that there was others. When you said there's others, what are the other reasons?
Well, since my partner and I have split, we have shared custody. I get visitations on weekends, but I've actually given them up because I just find that I don't have the energy, and I worry that I'm not a good, responsible parent for them when they're in my care.
So with drinking comes some memory impairment, and you may make decisions that you're not thinking clearly about. So is that what you're talking about when you're saying that you're not sure if you're okay to have them in your care?
Yeah, definitely. It used to be easy, and now it's hard.
Oh, alright. And how old are your children?
6 and 8.
Okay. And are you talking with your wife about openly about why you have changed your access to them? Does she have a idea about what's going on for you?
Yeah, she knows, and she knows that I struggle these days and have changed as a person.
Alright, so it's really affecting your relationships, is what you're saying to me. It's affecting your relationships with your children and your access to them, and it's also affecting your pool competition abilities, and that means that maybe your friends are also asking what's going on, what's changed. Are they noticing that your drinking has changed?
Yeah, they are, which is a bit of a reality check for me, because I've always considered them pretty heavy drinkers, and when they're telling me that I'm drinking too much, I stopped and listened.
Wow, that must have been really hard to hear. Was it?
It was a reality check, yeah.
Okay, so thinking about making changes to your alcohol use, if we can just talk about a scale, so 0 to 10. So 0 is not being important at all, and 10 is being the most important in your life. Where do you feel like you would sit in regards to changing your alcohol use? So 0, no change required. Sorry, yeah, 0, no change required, and 10 being the most important thing that you would like to focus on and change. Where are you from 0 to 10?
I think I'm at 8.
Okay. And the drivers that you've talked about were your friends and your children. So that sounds like it's pretty important. You've been able to identify some pretty important motivators for yourself, and 8 out of 10 is a pretty high number. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yep.
Okay. So it's great that you've been able to give me a number, and I'm wondering with that number, how could we get that number lower so that you didn't feel like alcohol was such a big problem in your life? How could we bring that back a little bit?
I think if I stopped buying the bottle of spirits and maybe cut back to mid-strength beers.
Alright, so something that you actually thought about. So you're not just coming here and telling me a story, you've actually already done a little bit of planning.
Yeah, it's constantly on my mind these days.
Okay. I'm wondering if you've thought about some other consequences of your drinking, like when you're driving.
Yeah, well, I've already had a DUI, so I certainly wouldn't want to jeopardise my licence because it would affect my job.
Yeah. So the consequences of drink driving is that they only get worse, and that would mean that it would really change your lifestyle. So that's some consequential thinking, and you've thought you don't want to get another DUI, so that's another motivator that you've identified. So well done.
Thanks.
Okay, so if we can do another 0 to 10, how confident are you that you can do something to change your drinking? So thinking about that, so how confident are you that you can change your drinking? So 0 is being not confident at all, and 10 is being really confident that you can change your drinking habits. Whereabouts are you?
Well, as far as something to do to change my drinking habits, I think I probably should find another hobby other than pool, because pool is very alcohol orientated. It's not a necessity, but
So yeah, we're talking about pool and different hobbies, but if I can just redirect you back to the 0 to 10 scenario, where I'm asking you about how confident you are about being able to change your drinking habits. So 0 is being not confident at all, and 10 is being really confident. How confident do you feel that you're able to change your drinking habits? There's no wrong answers here. Just asking these questions for you and I to get a better idea about how you feel about change.
I'll say 50-50, so 5.
Okay, well, 50-50. That's a really great place to start, which lets me know that you've got some confidence. And when I say that, does that sound true to you?
Yeah, I still have hope for myself. I don't think I'm too far gone.
Okay. All right. So it's really hard when you want to cut back on your drinking and then people around you are also drinking. What do you have you thought about different things that could potentially help to support you drinking less to reach your goals?
Yes, well, like I touched on earlier, I probably could get a better hobby. Also, my kids are a driving force to do better.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about sometimes if your friends are already aware of what might be happening for you and they're noticing the changes in you, how comfortable would you be with me suggesting that you have a talk to your friends about what you've noticed in yourself and what changes you'd like to make?
Well, I'm pretty sure they'd encourage me in anything I want to do because they're good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think that's. I could talk to them about that.
All right. And maybe we can have even a bit of a practice conversation about what you might like to say to them. And that, in that way, sort of preparing yourself for the real reality of talking to them about it openly and honestly. And sometimes that can be hard. Now, as also, just wondering if your finances, have you thought about how much money you're spending on alcohol? Is that something that would potentially influence you in making some changes? The money you're spending on alcohol?
Yeah, well, it's through the roof these days, and also house payments. So yeah, it's taking a big toll on my financial situation.
Yeah. And as far as what you're looking for in our service and what support you would like, we can offer you different options. We're doing now is we're just having a talk about what's happening for you and getting a feel of what may or may not work for you. So our service offers things like counselling. There's also other options where you might need to think about if you can't cut back, if you can't make those changes, then some people even need to come in and do a detox. And those just depends on, you can have a try at something and see if that works for you. There's other medications that can potentially be helpful too. But at this stage, we're just really at the beginning stage, so it's really important that you don't put too much pressure to change on yourself. It's really motivated by you and what you would like to do. And you've been really good at saying that you would like to make some changes for your kids, with your friends, and financially, which means that you can see that right now alcohol is not really making your life better. I'm wondering if you can imagine a life without alcohol and what that might look like.
Yeah, I can imagine a life without alcohol, and it's what I hope for. I would still like to be able to have it in moderation, but at the end of the day, my main goal is to have have a good functioning life and see my children, and yeah.
Oh, you seem to get a little bit thoughtful there. Was there anything there that you wanted to say more about?
Yeah, well, I just think that there's a better path in life for me than doing what I'm doing at the moment. And I know I've got more in me to give to my children, and they deserve better.
Yeah, well done. Great expressing yourself, and I'm really hearing that your kids are a great motivator for you. So it's great to speak to you today. I appreciate you coming in and sharing some of your story, and hopefully we can keep working together. And you're the driver of this. I can come along for the ride, and maybe we'll look at making another appointment, and maybe if you're interested doing some counseling with one of our counselors. Is that something that you might like to have a think about?
Yeah, for sure. This is pretty hard for me to do, but I've actually felt pretty comfortable speaking to you today. So yeah, I'd definitely be up for some more help from you.
All right, thanks, Jack. We'll finish the session now.